Gold Rush Tony Beets, separating himself from co-stars. While most people like to talk about Parker Schnabel as the whiz kid from Gold Rush, he isn't the best miner on the show. While Parker is young and very successful, Tony Beets has been doing this the longest and is just as successful now as he was in his younger days. This season, he is proving that. Here is how Tony has distanced himself from his Gold Rush co-stars. Tony Beets is having a great season on Gold Rush this year. This should come as no surprise, but the fact is that the other miners on the show are struggling to make it to the end. Meanwhile, Tony is coasting along like any other season and proving why he remains the king of the Alaskan miners. Known as the King of Klondike, Tony Beets continues to break his records every week. While fellow gold miners Parker Schnabel, Rick Ness, and his son, Kevin Beets, struggle to find gold at Dominion, Tony is thriving. Tony found 849 ounces in just 3 weeks. Tony's Indian River claim has almost always offered consistent gold yields, and his sluice plant also provides a lot. He carefully plans all his moves and sets strict deadlines to reach his goals, leaving no room for error, which differs greatly from someone like Rick Ness, who often makes rash, questionable decisions. This season, Tony had to stop mining operations after the conveyor smashed into the hopper feeder. However, he didn't flinch and leapt into action, calling his son for help. Tony used the steel plates to divert the water before it could wash gold from dirt. 2 days later, they bagged 255.38 ounces, $640,000. Tony overcame everything and has pulled 1,105 ounces, more than any other miner. This is very different from the other miners on the show. Tony Beets' son Kevin has his own claim this season. He wants to break out from under his dad's shadow, and rightfully so. However, he quickly saw a truck break down and had to pay Parker Schnabel over $100,000 for a replacement. Parker, for all his previous success, is also struggling. He set a massive goal for the year, but hasn't found anywhere near enough to reach that goal. With equipment breaking down and his crew growing frustrated, Parker might see his empire falling apart. Rick Ness's problems remain numerous. His renewal for the water license on his claim was denied. If he can't get that reversed, he will lose this land in 2025. It also doesn't help that he spent all his money on a new pump, only to learn he bought the wrong kind. What are your thoughts on Tony Beets this season on Gold Rush? Is it any surprise that he is the only person thriving this season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Gold Rush. Tony Beets separating himself from co-stars in the world of reality television, especially within a gritty, high-stakes series like Gold Rush. It's not just the gold that matters. It's also the larger-than-life personalities that drive the show. One figure that stands out, not only in terms of his impressive gold mining achievements, but also in his ability to separate himself from the rest of the Gold Rush cast, is Tony Beets. Known for his brash attitude, sharp wit, and fearlessness, Beets has carved out a niche that places him far above his co-stars in terms of notoriety, fan recognition, and impact on the show. Tony Beets first appeared on Gold Rush in its 2nd season in 2011 and quickly became a fan favorite due to his larger-than-life personality. As one of the most experienced miners on the show, Tony was already well-versed in the challenging environment of the Klondike and the intricate science of placer mining. But it wasn't just his skill that caught the audience's eye. It was his willingness to take risks, his unapologetic demeanor, and his unfiltered approach to the chaotic world of gold mining. Over the years, Tony has strategically, and sometimes forcefully, set himself apart from the other miners on the show, embracing his role as the hard-nosed mentor, the boss who does things his way, and a self-made man who's earned the right to run his operation without interference. The appeal of Tony Beets. To understand how Tony Beets has managed to distinguish himself, it's essential to look at his appeal. Unlike many of his co-stars, who are relatively new to the world of gold mining, Beets is a seasoned veteran. His mining operation, the Beets Family Mining Company, has been successful for years, and he has a reputation for knowing exactly what it takes to get the job done. Whether it's dealing with unpredictable weather, the technical side of running a massive dredge, or managing a crew of workers, Beets does it all with a certain swagger that makes him unforgettable. The contrast between Tony and other miners like Parker Schnabel or Rick Ness lies in their differing approaches to leadership. Parker, for example, is known for his meticulous planning and calculated risk-taking, often spending a significant amount of time making sure everything is lined up before taking action. His style contrasts with Tony's blunt, often brash, methods. Tony's aggressive style of leadership and no-nonsense approach has made him a polarizing figure. His willingness to take on bigger risks, challenge his workers, and show little patience for mistakes sets him apart from others on the show. But it's this very audacity that has helped cement his place as one of the show's most memorable and iconic figures. The bad boss, person known of the most significant ways Tony separates himself from his co-stars is through his self-crafted bad boss persona. While other miners may struggle to balance their roles as mentors, workers, and leaders, Beets leans heavily into his persona as a ruthless boss who commands respect. His interactions with his employees are often filled with scorn, frustration, and even threats of dismissal, yet his workers stick around because they know his methods work. His blunt attitude isn't just for show. It reflects his deep understanding of the gold mining world, where time is money, and mistakes can cost a lot more than just a paycheck. Beets' tough love management style, often depicted as over-the-top for dramatic effect, has won him both fans and detractors. Tony's infamous moments, such as his memorable interactions with his crew, are both entertaining and insightful into his leadership style. While other miners may indulge in more emotional displays, Tony's stoicism and focus on results cut through any pretense. His aggressiveness might seem harsh to some viewers, but it has undoubtedly solidified his status as the unapologetic leader who gets results. For Tony, being a bad boss is part of his appeal, and he doesn't shy away from the fact that he's tough on his crew. He'll often tell people they're doing a bad job or that they need to pull their weight, making it clear that if they want to succeed, they'll need to work as hard as he does. This tough exterior has become his brand, and it sets him apart from the often more diplomatic, gentler approaches of other miners. For Tony, there's little room for second chances. When you're digging for gold in one of the harshest environments on Earth, excuses don't count. Beets' work ethic. Tony's work ethic is another way he distinguishes himself from the other miners. While Gold Rush is full of hardworking individuals, none have quite the same drive and determination as Tony. As a self-made man who built his mining empire from the ground up, Beets has worked tirelessly to achieve success. His hard-nosed attitude towards work is a direct reflection of the effort he has put into building his mining operations over the years. Tony's approach to his work is calculated, efficient, and often faster-paced than his competitors, which also separates him from the rest of the group. Where other miners may struggle to get their operations running smoothly, Tony often has a solution before the problem even becomes apparent. His experience in the mining business, combined with a deep-rooted sense of pride in what he does, allows him to keep moving forward, even when the odds are stacked against him. He works hard, and he expects the same from those who work for him. This intense focus on work has helped him become one of the wealthiest and most successful miners in the Klondike. In contrast to some of the younger miners on the show, who are learning as they go, Tony often appears as a force of nature who knows exactly what's needed to get gold. His experience is his greatest asset, and he isn't afraid to make his vast knowledge the center of his persona. For Tony, the gold isn't just a reward, it's the manifestation of years of hard work, savvy business decisions, and sheer determination. The Beets family legacy. Another key aspect of Tony's success is his role as the patriarch of the Beets family. His children, Kevin and Monica, are an integral part of his mining operations, often seen working alongside their father. By involving his family in the operation, Tony has not only ensured the continuation of his legacy, but has also set himself apart from other miners on Gold Rush. This intergenerational aspect of his operation adds depth to his character and shows that his commitment to mining is more than just a career. It's a way of life that he's passed down to his children. While other miners, such as Parker Schnebel, also involve family in their operations, Tony's focus on family is more directly tied to his identity as a hard-working patriarch. His children, in many ways, represent the continuation of Tony's values and methods. As a result, Tony's family becomes a central part of his public persona and a point of differentiation from his co-stars, who may not have the same emphasis on family. The Beets persona and reality, Tony Beets, has crafted a persona that thrives on the reality television format. While many of the other miners on Gold Rush have their personal struggles and are portrayed as sympathetic figures, Tony has created a character that is both.